Liam, it's an exciting time for Rossmore Park.
It really is. I mean, this is the first time in years, I think, people have had the opportunity to come out and experience a park, but also do it in a virtual way. I mean, this is something we in the museum have been very passionate about for a long time. How do we make the story of Rossmore more accessible? How do we make the story of the family more accessible? People know the park, maybe they know the area, but do they know the story? So one of the things we wanted to do is how can we bring this back to life? So it was wonderful working with AmmA, developing this project with younger people in the area, researching the story of Rossmore, using the plans of the original castle and actually using them to develop that in Minecraft. And watching that process happen, working with the students during that project over the last couple of years, and literally seeing the castle come up from the ground was just amazing. For me personally, growing up in Monaghan, Rossmore was always a part of my history, my heritage, so to see it actually coming to life again was so exciting. And then with the success of that project, we decided to expand it out into a much greater world. So now, when we launch this project, people will be able to go in and see the castle for the first time. Many people have never seen it before. So experience that, get an idea of the concept. Or even we're standing here today, right beside the castle, you get an idea of it, but you couldn't really fully accept the grandeur of the building and how it dominated the landscape. So this new project, using Minecraft to create this world, this virtual world of Rossmore, is just so exciting, and I think for so many people on so many levels, they'll really enjoy it.
Now, there are many links between Rossmore Park and the museum, but there are a couple of very exciting links.
Yeah, really exciting. Along with the Minecraft project, we have some wonderful objects that have just recently come into the museum over the last few years. One of them is the actual door, one of the doors from the castle. Now, it's the only one we know of that's still in existence. We found it in one of the huts here, just not far from where we're standing now. Over the last couple of years, we managed to conserve it painstakingly. We even did real detailed research into the type of paint that was originally on the door. So we painted it exactly the way it was. There's some gunshot pellets in the door as well, so there's a story behind that too, who knows. We also have a wonderful set of uilleann pipes now. For people who aren't aware of them, uilleann piping is a tradition that's gone back hundreds of years in Ireland. You would have the travelling uilleann pipers that went from town to town playing tunes for money. However, in the mid-1800s, some of the landed gentry started to get interested in this Gaelic music, and one of them was the Lord Rossmore here at the time, the third Lord Rossmore. He bought an incredibly intricate set of pipes, had them designed himself, and by all information, he was actually an incredible pipe player. So, up until recently, unfortunately, we just learned recently the sad death of the current Lord Rossmore, the seventh Lord Rossmore, Paddy Rossmore. Before he died, he very graciously and very, very generously donated a number of pieces, including this wonderful set of uilleann pipes dating to the mid-1860s. Again, we spent a long time working with pipers in the area, finding out about the pipes, researching them, creating the way they actually would have looked like, and we've actually got them back now, fully working order. So we're looking forward to using them, along with the pipes, into our new big project, which is the new museum in Monaghan Town. So it's a really exciting time for us.
Now, walking through Rossmore, a lot of people aren't aware of the story, but the story is now coming alive.
Yeah, I mean, very much so, and alive's the word. People think of museum to think of history as the past tense, something that happened. But you and I are standing here right now in a part of history that's still happening. The reason this park is here is because the Claremont family came first, which followed by the Westenra family, who were known as the Rossmores, and they created this space. And we're still enjoying it today. So people are living in history, and sometimes you don't realise that. So to get the opportunity for people to actually to properly appreciate it, know where they are, and get an idea of what this was, why was that the way it was, and question it and challenge it as well, because there is a challenging history connected to the big houses, of course, but it all facilitates that debate, and that's the key thing about the museum. We always say with an exhibition, it's not enough for someone to walk out and say, well, yeah, that was nice. We want people to walk out and have an emotional reaction to it, think about it, talk to the people about it, and this project will certainly achieve that, we think.
Now, Rossmore Park, this is the name of the park. Rossmore was the Lord, Westenra was the family name.
That's right, and in Monaghan Town today, you still have the Westenra Arms Hotel, you have the Westenra Monument in the centre of town as well, and we'll be linking all those stories. So again, that element, many people aren't even aware of that the Westenras were the Rossmores. Every one of these families took on a different name when they got their lordship, so they were one family but they became something else. And part of that story as well is linked in with Minecraft and that project of how the site evolved. You know, you had the house, then you had the other elements which we'll also incorporate in the idea of the mechanics behind it. How is the house heated? How is it lit? And then we have the wonderful walled garden just over here as well. Why was that built? You know, all these elements that people have been aware of but just don't know enough about. This project really helped answer an awful lot of those questions.
The house was way ahead of its time, and walking through Rossmore Park, there are some technological gems.
There really are, and that's a part of the story too that's seen but not seen. I mean, again, speaking from my own personal experience, walking around the park my whole life, I've seen these places, but I didn't really know the story around them. We have a hydraulic dam here in the centre of the park that would have pumped water up into the house and would have generated electricity. We had a gas works on the site as well, actually created gas. And then we had a mausoleum here, a wonderful building that's just been recently conserved, and that was the burial site for other Rossmores for a number of years. In fact, inside the mausoleum there's a beautiful fresco on the floor of the Westenra arms, the family arms. Again, these wonderful pieces of history, we can bring them to life now through Minecraft, and people can explore them in a way that maybe they weren't before. And again, there's a whole STEAM learning element behind this, the science behind that. And we'll be focusing on that as well when we're working with school children. It's just a wonderful way to use what's on their doorstep to teach them a little bit more about the history and the heritage and the science of the area.
The walled garden is a gift.
It really, really is. And again, a gift that's only been opened up to us in the last couple of years. So we're really looking forward to delving into that and also telling the story of the walled garden. Many people will believe a walled garden was built just simply to keep people out, but it was actually built as well to keep something in, a microclimate. So it was, we're talking about biodiversity now, we're talking about sustainability. They were doing that way back when in the mid-1800s, and the opportunity again within Minecraft, you can go in and actually go through a number of different projects, find a little bit about sustainability, a little bit about how you plant, a little bit how you look after flora and fauna of the area. So it just adds yet another element to it. And again, the whole thing is about this wonderful history and heritage that's sitting right here in our doorsteps. But it's not enough to say that. You know, you can't just go out to someone and say, look, you have to go and find out about it. Our job as museum professionals is how can we make that accessible, interesting? People are busy, they have so much to do with their time. So how do we make it worthwhile for them? What are they going to get out of it? It's not enough just to say you should go. It's enough that you have to say, well, you should go, but this is what you get out of it. This is how it'll help you, how it'll help you live your life better maybe. So this project as a whole thing, with the objects, with Minecraft, with the new building, with how the stores are going to open up here in Rossmore Park, I think will have a major impact, not only in the local population, but further afield.